When I was a senior in high school, my mom asked one day if I wanted to go to lunch with her and my sister's 3 kids. We went to the McDonald's down the street, and the 3 kids immediately beelined for the playground. After a while of being there, we heard a high-pitched shriek coming from somewhere inside of the playground. I looked down and I noticed that the 2-year-old was there happily eating his french fries, and my 5-year-old niece was talking to my mom, so that left only my 8-year-old nephew, and there's no way that he was making that sound. And so I just kind of ignored it for a little while, but after a while the shrieks kind of sounded again, but this time it was a little bit higher pitched and seemed almost more desperate. And so I walked over to the playground, and just as my nephew came flying out of one of the tubes, and he's just like, "A little girl's up there and I think she's lost." I looked around and I saw the only other people there were an elderly couple where the man had his arm in a sling and the woman was just old. And so I told my nephew, "Go get her." And so he bolted back into the tube, but he came back out just a couple minutes later, and he's just like, "She got so scared she threw up." And I'm like, "Well, go get her. You need to just get her." And he's like, "No way, that's really gross." And so I looked at the elderly couple again, and there was no way that they were in shape to be climbing up that tube. And so I finally resigned myself to climbing into the tube, and about halfway up I just remembered how claustrophobic I am, and so I had to keep telling myself, "Just keep going, just keep going." And I could smell the little girl before I reached her, and it was really, really gross. And I finally found her, and tears were streaking down her cute little face. She couldn't have been even 2 years old. And I held my arms out to her, and she came right over to me, and I took her down the tube, and I just told her to be okay the whole time down so she'd stop crying, and I gave her back to her grandma. And that day I learned an important lesson, that while you may not always be able to see a tangible reward with the good things that you do, it's always important to do the right thing, because when we choose to do, any actions that we choose to do will have an impact on someone else, and we can choose to have a good impact and choose the right thing, or we can choose to do nothing. And I hope that we all will choose the right thing, and thank you.